In this video, I want to talk about vacation and travel safety for you and your family and share a few ideas and things to keep in mind. Stick around. There's nothing new about vacations, man. People take vacations every year, and we don't need to state the importance of awareness on vacation. I'm not even going to talk about the surface level things, but I do want to share some ideas that I think are universally helpful for people, even if they are what I consider professional travelers. When you're away from your home and out of the norm, it's always good to keep certain things into consideration. Let's get started. First, I would say know where you're traveling. People travel into new areas all the time, and while many do their research to find out where they're going and what it's like in that area, both the good and the bad, not everybody does that. Are there areas to avoid? Are there certain behaviors that should be avoided? Someone close to me last summer traveled to an island that he had never been to before, and he had to take a rental car through some very rough terrain. He wasn't expecting that, and he ran into some locals, and it wasn't a pleasant experience, to the point of feeling like there was a possibility of him and his family being attacked. When we travel somewhere, we tend to think about the good that we're going to experience, but we need to think about the bad we could possibly encounter and just get out in front of it. New territory is new adventures, but it can also be new troubles, so keep that in mind. It's not hard to get on the internet and Google search things to watch out for in so-and-so area, and you'll get all sorts of information. I'm sure a lot of you do that, but some people may not, and it's just a little tip. Watch YouTube videos as you're watching one right now. Things to know about this area that I'm traveling into. Again, a lot of times we just see the wonders and the good, but there are other things that we need to find out about. I believe it's wise to know where everybody is at all times. Even if you don't use Life 360 back home, it's a good thing to use on vacation because you can see where people are at all times. For those who don't know the term Life 360, it's just another app where you can literally track your family anywhere. It's just good to know where your family is, how they're getting there, how they're coming back, because you're in an unfamiliar territory, and if something goes wrong, you have to have some basis on which to track them. If they just go out and you don't know where they're going and they turn up missing, you have nowhere to begin. Some are saying, Daniel, this stuff is such common sense rhetoric. Well, if that was the case, then why is so much of this stuff still happening? A lot of people tend to label things common sense, but they don't treat them as common sense. It's not what we know, it's what we practice. Even if it's a group of adults and not a family with children, it's still wise to know where people are at if you're somewhere strange or somewhere you've never been before or somewhere where things can happen. At best, let somebody know. Thirdly, I would say that it's always wise to make sure you have a designated meetup place if you get separated and you can't find certain people. Listen, I know we have cell phones, but cell phones die. People are constantly out here without a cell phone because their battery went dead. I've been in situations where my phone was getting ready to die and I wasn't able to charge it anywhere. I'll send my wife a message. Listen, my phone's getting ready to die. You're not going to be able to text me or call me, but here's where I'm at and here's where I'm going. It's that simple. This works well, obviously, in theme parks and in cities that you may be visiting. You know, if somebody gets lost, here's where we're going to meet. And it could be anybody in the group. If they get lost or you get lost, you go to this designated place and wait. This next thing I'm just going to put under one big umbrella, and that is consider the supplies that you may need, including items that you may need to defend yourself. This means researching the state laws in the area where you're going. If you don't care about doing that, I understand, but this is just for those who do. For the sake of time, I won't repeat myself, but I did a video a while back on items that you need if you're traveling a long ways in a vehicle. I would encourage you to go check that video out. And as far as self-defense tools are concerned, I don't know where you're going and what you can have. Do your best to not be empty-handed if you should have to protect yourself and your family. Now again, this is another big topic. Which self-defense tools you should carry. I can't tell you which ones to carry. You have to know which ones are available. Everything from firearms to pepper spray to knives to batons to stun guns. There's this long list of self-defense tools that are available for you to use, and everybody is drawn to different ones for different reasons, but that is another video. But choose wisely and don't be empty-handed. A good trip can be the ultimate blessing or the ultimate nightmare, depending upon how prepared we really are. We read about things that happen to people on vacation, and it's very easy to say, well, that'll never happen to me. Well, truth be told, it could happen to any of us, and that's why it's wise for us to do our due diligence up front so that we can travel peacefully. We can know we did our homework, and there's a whole lot of peace in that. We've always got to remember too that times are changing and certain problems are ever increasing. Trafficking has become a terrible worldwide issue. So if anything, we've got to be watching out for even things like that. We've got to be mindful. We can't be asleep trying to protect some sort of utopia. No, the peace and the protection comes in when we're truthful about these realities and we prepare for them. Then we can vacate. So as we approach vacation season, I would just encourage you to use wisdom, pre-plan, take all these things into consideration and go travel peacefully. I'm not promoting the idea that you should be fearful just because you're traveling, but there is a lot of mental and physical prep that goes into travel, and there's also prep for unexpected situations that we need to be thinking about. We also need to be prepared for unexpected encounters of various kinds. I'd love to hear your crazy vacation stories. Has there ever been a time in your life where you went on a trip and you were caught off guard and something happened and you weren't prepared? I'd love to hear that in the comments. Take care.